Welcome to Coin Explorer. What is immediately interesting about this 1977 Kennedy half dollar? The photograph shows a 50-cent coin with a clear 1977 date, Kennedy's portrait, and no visible mint mark beneath the bust. That combination identifies it as the Philadelphia business strike, assuming the mint mark area is accurately shown. The reverse carries the familiar presidential seal design with an eagle, shield, arrows, olive branch, and surrounding inscriptions. It is straightforward to identify, but its details open several useful collecting questions. Why was this half dollar made in 1977? It belonged to the continuing Kennedy half dollar series, introduced in 1964 following President John F. Kennedy's assassination. The year 1977 is especially interesting because it followed the temporary bicentennial reverse, used on 1975 and 1976 half dollars. The regular Kennedy reverse returned for 1977, restoring the eagle and shield design seen on earlier issues. In other words, this coin represents a return to the series' standard format after America's bicentennial celebration. Where was this particular coin made? The absence of a mint mark on the photograph points to Philadelphia because 1977 Philadelphia Kennedy halves were struck without a mint mark, while Denver pieces carry a D and San Francisco produced proofs carrying an S. Philadelphia struck 43,598,000 regular 1977 halves, while Denver produced 31,449,106. San Francisco separately made 3,251,152 proofs. Those figures show that the Philadelphia issue is not a low mintage coin simply because it lacks a mint mark. What should you look for on the obverse? At the center is a left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The word Liberty arches around the upper rim, while In God We Trust appears across the lower portion. The date 1977 is positioned at the bottom. On this photographed example, the major lettering and portrait are clearly present, although the surfaces show substantial marks and wear. The design itself is normal for a regular 1977 Kennedy half. What does the reverse represent? Frank Gasparo's reverse adapts the Great Seal of the United States, featuring a heraldic eagle holding arrows and an olive branch with a shield across its chest. A ring of stars surrounds the central emblem, while United States of America follows the upper rim and half dollar appears below. The motto, E pluribus unum, is placed above the eagle. This reverse is important because it returned after the bicentennial design period ended. What is the coin made from? And does that answer the silver question? A normal 1977 Kennedy half dollar is copper-nickel clad, not a silver-clad issue. Its outer layers are 75% copper and 25% nickel over a pure copper center. The nominal weight is 11.34 grams, the diameter is about 30.61 millimeters, and the edge is reeded. These specifications help distinguish a normal 1977 half from earlier silver issues and from unusual pieces requiring further examination. Why does the edge matter when examining a Kennedy half? The reeded edge can reveal the coin's layered construction. On an ordinary 1977 clad half, a copper-colored center line can normally be seen between the outer clad layers. That feature is not evidence of an error by itself. Weight can also provide useful information, but a home scale is only a screening tool. A suspected off-metal strike should be evaluated professionally rather than judged from color alone. How common is the 1977 Philadelphia issue? Its mintage of 43,598,000 regular coins is substantial, so the date itself does not establish rarity. Many coins from large production runs survive, especially pieces that received little attention when new. Kennedy halves also became less common in everyday commerce as Americans increasingly used smaller denominations and the half dollar circulated less actively. That history helps explain why an older half dollar can feel unusual today without automatically being scarce to collectors. What condition separates an ordinary example from a more collectible one? Collectors examine the amount of wear on Kennedy's hair, cheek, jaw, and other high points, along with the reverse eagle, the shield, and lettering. Scratches, contact marks, stains, dull surfaces, and cleaning can reduce desirability. Strong original luster and sharp details are generally preferable. However, a photograph cannot reliably establish a professional grade. Lighting, focus, and image processing can hide or exaggerate surface problems, so certification requires physical examination. Are there documented varieties connected with 1977 Kennedy halves? Yes, but they must be identified by the correct mint and diagnostic features. The 1977 D issue has a recognized double-die obverse variety, listed as FS101. Because the photographed coin appears to have no mint mark, that 1977 D variety does not apply here. Apparent doubling should never be treated as proof of an error without comparing the coin against documented diagnostics. Many surface effects can resemble doubling without representing a collectible die variety. Could a 1977 half dollar have an unusual composition? Exceptional minting mistakes are known, including documented 1977 D. Kennedy halves struck on 40% silver planchets. Such pieces are not representative of ordinary 1977 coins and require authentication. A bright edge, unusual color, or surprising weight should therefore be treated as a reason for further testing, not as a conclusion. For the pictured Philadelphia coin, nothing in the photograph alone establishes an off-metal strike or any other minting error. So what affects the collector value of a 1977 Philadelphia half dollar? The first factor is whether the coin is circulated or unusually preserved. Grade, surface quality, strike, luster, recognized varieties, authenticated mint errors, and collector demand can all matter. Certification may add confidence when a coin has significant condition or variety interest, but the date and denomination alone do not create a premium. A normal worn example can remain close to its 50-cent face value in everyday collector market terms. How should auction prices be understood if you encounter a dramatic result? An auction record belongs to one specific coin, with its particular grade, variety, error status, provenance, and buyer demand. PCGS records a $9,200 auction result for a 1977 D regular strike Kennedy half-graded MS-64 in a 2005 Bowers and Marina sale. That is a result for that particular coin, not a normal price for every 1977 half dollar, and not a valuation of the photographed Philadelphia piece. What should the average viewer realistically expect from this coin? A circulated 1977 Philadelphia Kennedy half usually should not command a large premium merely because it is nearly 50 years old. Uncirculated examples can attract more interest, while exceptional certified pieces, documented varieties, or authenticated errors occupy a different market. The safest approach is to identify the mint, inspect the condition, and compare the coin with recent sales of genuinely comparable pieces rather than relying on headline prices. How can you examine a 1977 Kennedy half at home without jumping to conclusions? First, confirm the date and check the mint mark area beneath Kennedy's portrait. Next, inspect the edge for normal clad construction and weigh the coin as a preliminary check. Examine the high points for wear, then look for scratches, cleaning, unusual doubling, missing details, or other anomalies under magnification. Finally, compare any suspected variety with a trusted reference or qualified grading service. What makes this coin interesting is the evidence careful examination can reveal